Hello, how's it going? Welcome back to some more F1 Manager 2022 and another part of our Aston Martin Road to Glory career mode. Today, we are continuing Season 2 after the first race, an unbelievable result for that. Thank you for the incredible support on the series so far, and especially on yesterday's video at the start of Season 2. I know a lot of people were, I suppose, quite disappointed that we were able to win the first race of Season 2. Perhaps it's not as realistic as you'd like, but yeah, I mean, we're playing with the hand that we've been dealt. We risked a lot to throw a lot of money at the car before the season begun, and you know, we don't have the fastest car. A lot of circumstance threw into it. There was obviously that incident between I think it was Carlos Sainz and Max Verstappen in the closing stages. Obviously, tyre-wise, they were terrible as well. So, you know, a lot of things sort of fell into place for us, and I don't think it's going to be a common thing this season that we win races. But we've got that monkey off our back in those crazy races. Crazy things can happen. I do think we have got a car that can comfortably finish in the top 10 this season. I do believe that. We've got more upgrades coming, of course. But we did invest a lot of money into it. We don't have a massive amount of money. We've got 11.9 million in the bank. And we're going to have to manage that carefully this season and make sure that we're in a strong financial position going into the second half of the season. So, first things first, thank you for that. That's sort of my response to what happened in the last episode. If we end up, you know, walking this championship, then perhaps we'll need to think about how we scale the difficulty down or whatever. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think it was just a fluke result, much like the podium that we got in Singapore. So, yeah, we're just going to roll with it and see how we get on. So let's immerse ourselves into the action. I can see there's a development point for Pierre Gasly, so straight away we're going to add that onto his defending. Once we get that up, he is going to be an incredible driver. Felipe Drugovich also has a setup point, so we will go for that there. Anything else? Staff members, we'll have a look at those. So yeah, T Chuang has got one, so now is at least 76 in all of those. Nothing for any of those teams there. Pit crew starting to get back up there as it stands, which is fantastic. Now, of course, we do have an issue with the front wing of car 2. We are going to have to manufacture some more of them. We have got some in the house, so we will install that one onto car 2. We will have a spare ready for the weekend, hopefully. That'll be good. Facilities wise, we're not really going to invest any of that. As I said, we don't really have the money at the moment. Our season balance is very, very low. It's projected to stay pretty low for the coming months. At least that's what the projection is saying, although the projected actual balance by the end of the year, 86 million. But I don't see how that happens, but we will see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, leave a like if you enjoy, and hopefully we will be able to have another positive weekend here in Jeddah. Now, we had a very tough race there last year. It's a one-stop race, so if you haven't got the pace, you can't really do anything with strategy, and obviously there'll probably be safety cars and that sort of thing. So yeah, we need to think about that. Patrick Stafford did say congratulations for winning the last Grand Prix. Be assured wins like this increase the board's confidence. Thank you very much. Okay, post-race overview. So Fernando Alonso claimed the checkered flag ahead of Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen after qualifying P5. Alonso fought their way through the field and came out on top. The success of Alonso has allowed them to soar to the lead of the drivers' standings. Everyone is talking about Aston Martin as they exceed everyone's expectations, currently placing in P1 of the Constructors' Championship with 35 points. That puts Aston Martin on top of the championship, followed by Red Bull with 33 points and Ferrari 14. Despite some bold moves, it was fortunately a retirement-free race. That's what I was trying to say. Okay then. Right, let's move forward. Don't think there's anything else to do. We've got a sponsorship obligation. The underfloor has been made. Helipad poor condition. Front wing has been made as well. Race prep, we'll have a look at that in a second. So we need to do some performance stuff. So we'll guarantee that both cars make it through to Q2. And we will say at least one of our drivers will finish in the top 10. That's fine. Race targets, fastest lap, I don't really want to guarantee that. Everything else is looking fine and dandy. Very, very good. Very good. Right, let's get ourselves into the weekend then, here in Jeddah. Hope you enjoy.
Formula One is back. Welcome to one of the fastest circuits on the calendar here at Jeddah. The Saudi Arabian Grand Prix is about to kick off and the atmosphere here is electric. The Jeddah Street Circuit has one of the fastest average speeds as well as the most corners of any track on the calendar. Good high-speed downforce is going to make life in the fast lane a little easier for drivers here this weekend. We might still be early in the season, but that doesn't mean we can sit back and relax. Everything is up for grabs, and nothing is certain at this stage. Stay right here, because we're just getting started.
Okay, so we're looking at a very clear weekend. I thought for this weekend, let's get the ugly mug back on. I thought for this weekend, maybe we'd do a little practice program. I know you guys really enjoy it when it's on. I'm conscious that I don't want to make sort of 2-hour episodes every single video, but a few of you have been requesting, let's see a little bit of practice. So that's exactly what we'll do with our drivers. Now, their car parts knowledge isn't 100% yet, so I don't want to put Drugovic in FP1 this early in the season. He'll probably come in from Imola onwards, and we'll just rotate it between Pierre Gasly and Fernando Alonso of who will take the lead with that. So, as always, I do about an 18-lap run in for each of the drivers on hard tyres. That's what we look at. I'll just take me mug off the screen until we actually get into the action. But yeah, so car setup wise, what I've started doing is leaving it in the middle at the start of the weekend and then sort of tweaking it from there. So we'll get straight into practice. We'll see how they get on, and hopefully we can do a good job.
Radio check. Radio check, okay. Radio check. Green light, green light.
So send Fernando Alonso out first. And Pierre Gasly will follow as soon as Alonso reaches the end of the pit lane. And that should give them a good gap on track. And then we zoom it up to 16. So let's zoom that forward, and we'll keep an eye out on the left hand side of which driver's looking faster this weekend. I think this is going to be a really good partnership. Hopefully we won't just see one of the drivers out qualifying the other week after week after week. I think they're so good, they're so evenly matched that hopefully we will see that reflected, and you can see them jumping up and over each other lap after lap here. It's quite funny, really. Gasly's slightly got the edge here at the moment. Alonso dealing with a little bit more traffic, but doing a good job at the moment in 5th and 8th place. And you can see down here there's a little number, 3 out of 5. So that is sort of their setup confidence. You want that to get to 5 out of 5, so that they'll give you some impact, give you some feedback. Somebody has had a crash. That is a yellow flag. I don't know whether that will bring out a red flag. It's a VSC. Hopefully we'll get to see it. So we'll just ignore that. There's no real
We've had a
need to
crash.
worry about that. Oh,
Let's
it's
take a look
Nico!
at the
It was
replay.
Nico!
Now we see the Williams here.
What did he do then? It's Hulkenberg.
And that's an off. And a big off.
Oh, there you go. There it was. Ouch. I don't think that'll be him out.
Such high hopes today. What a shame.
But yeah, we don't need to worry about the team. But oh no, Hulkenberg is out. Wow. There you go. So he'll be no longer practicing today. Is there any reserve drivers in? Well, I can see. Sometimes you do see the odd reserve driver in for the AI. But you can see 4 out of 5. And then eventually the engineer will pop up and ask how the setup is. And you'll get an initial indication of how it is. So the virtual safety car is only just about to end, actually. And there you go. Gasly's on 5 out of 5.
What's your thoughts on coming in or doing any more?
I don't know what's happening, but it's never been as bad.
So Gasly's not happy. and that's why. Because they're all bad. I mean, his setup confidence is 3%. Oh, 3%. Right. I think we probably want to make sure that there's plenty of straight line speed on the car. And let's go for something like that. So yeah, you see, we're just trying to get far enough away from our previous setup, really. Tyres should be fine, so they can maybe do another 18 laps. We'll keep an eye on Fernando. I think we're going to try and bring him in this lap.
What do you think?
He's not happy.
Very bad.
Very bad.
Copy.
So Alonso's not happy. So he'll come in. And we'll work on his car as well. And in theory, he'll probably have similar issues to Gasly. So that's what we try and work on and make sure the car is as good as can be, really. Something like that for Fernando. So we'll get that reconfigured. The problem is, it always takes a decent chunk of time to get that reconfigured. So you just got to be a little bit careful of that in terms of timings for the session. But just send Gasly out. We'll send out Fernando as well. And it's interesting. We sent out Fernando first, but he took longer to come up with the feedback, and I think that's down to race engineer, which is why I was very insistent on having Hulkenberg in all of the free practice sessions last year, because he needed that little bit of extra time to get those setups spot on. So yeah, and now it's just playing the waiting game until those numbers are up to 5 out of 5 again, and hopefully this time the setup will be a lot better, and then it's just about tweaking throughout the weekend, simulate usually practice 2 and 3, so that you get those performance boosts for qualifying. And I am going to remember today to show you what those performance boosts are, because I always forget, and I'm always annoyed at myself for that. But Gasly's starting to improve his times now, so setting personal bests out there, which is quite nice. And there you go, he goes to 8th, but Gasly's not happy still, which is interesting. Right then, let's have a look at this. So he's happy with his front wing setup. It's his brake stability that we need to improve a little bit more. Not certain how we can get much further away here. Yeah, something like that. Something like that might work. Hopefully it does. Hopefully it does. But I'm not going to quite get... Oh, he's not happy either.
Very bad. Copy that.
So this isn't good. We're actually really struggling with our setup now. Although his straight line speed is optimal. Yeah, something like that maybe. We'll see. Won't get out there again, really, to do any more times. I mean, what we can do is put them out there with very little fuel and see what sort of pace they can put in. We say, what, a run of 7 laps. And get them straight out there. And see what pace he can do on old hards. Which could be quite useful. I don't know. Maybe it won't be. But... there we go. Very evenly matched. There's 6 thousandths of a second between them at the moment. Very, very happy with this driver lineup. I'd have loved to have seen what Hulkenberg could have done in the car,
Checkered
but
flag is now out.
I don't think we'd have had that win last time out if we'd had Hulkenberg in there. So, you know, we gotta be thankful for that. And well, somebody went pretty high there. Pierre Gasly. So P9 for Pierre, P10 for Fernando. Very, very decent indeed. So it's going to be a case of simulating this middle session and seeing how those setups work out for them. So let's have a little look. So 6th and 9th, so Alonso slightly quicker in that session. Setup confidence-wise, much better now. So 88% and 81%. That's something to work with. I tend to skip this from David Croft because it's the same rubbish every weekend, really, that he comes out with. So let's have a little look at the setup and how we can improve it. So you can see straight away how we're going to get that to optimal, if you like. Yeah, those two look pretty good. I mean, everything's looking pretty good there, actually. The only thing I'd slightly change is perhaps the... yeah, I can't really do that. So I think we're just going to have to settle for that with Pierre. We'll tell him to use those mediums. Fernando, let's have a look at his. Whoops. His car setup. Yeah, so you can see straight away where that's going to be. Luckily, that middle one was optimal, so we can try and get that back there. Something like that. That might work quite well for him. And in theory, that should be a good setup. So let's simulate that and see how they get on in practice 3. So next, hey, 5th and 6th, so better pace in that session actually. Nice. Hey, look at that, 100% for Pierre Gasly and 95% for Alonso. So we've gone fully optimal with Gasly, and you can see they've both got maximum performance boost. So that's what it does to their statistics on that left-hand side, or that right-hand side that you can see. So Gasly going up there, very much a 90 rated driver. Fernando Alonso doing very, very well as well. So yeah, we continue on, and we get ready for qualifying. So here we go then, 100% confidence. You can see on Gasly's car, optimals all the way with Fernando Alonso, greats and optimals all the way. If we move that down slightly, we'd get a better setup, but we would lose those performance points, I believe, for Q1 at the very least. I think they'd be back for Q2, but yeah, let's get ourselves into qualifying and see how we get on. Although I am a little bit tempted to simulate session 1, because I think we should get through. Let's do it. I've never simulated qualifying, so let's see how it gets on. Hopefully we both get through. There you go, 5th and 6th for our drivers. Very, very nice. And going out in Q1 then, Alex Albon, Lance Stroll, Mick Schumacher, Yuki Tsunoda, and Nico Hulkenberg. So, into Q2 we go then. And we will make sure we use a used set of soft tyres to try and get through. And do one flying lap. So here we go. That should save us a little bit of time in this video, which is quite nice. Should be able to spend more time in the...
Yeah, radio check.
Okay, should be green now.
in the race. There we go. Red Bull already leaving the pit lane, which is interesting. So we'll send out Fernando Alonso. Championship leader, of course. And Pierre Gasly will follow along. On the used set of soft tyres. And we'll see what they can pull off. I mean, obviously last time we messed up with Gasly and we had him out in Q2 because he ran out of fuel in Q1. So we're definitely not going to worry about that this time. I'm going to make sure both of our drivers get through. So Fernando Alonso comes through first. We'll hop on board with him. And no traffic in the way, which is always what you like to see. So let's see how the car's looking through this first sector. Looking very, very tidy indeed. Regulation changes have certainly helped us at the start of this season, but you expect that the bigger teams, with their bigger investment, will definitely do a very good job. So a 32.5 for each of them. Alonso very slightly slower in that first sector. Coming through the middle sector now. And that's going to be 28.3. And what's that going to play for Gasly? 28.3. I mean, these are immensely evenly matched, and that is exactly what you want in your driver lineup. So Fernando Alonso coming around the final corner. It's going to be Perez up to the Verstappen up to the line first. He puts in a 128.0. Fernando Alonso comes up to the line and it's a 128.6. Gasly comes up to the line. What's it going to be? As Gasly comes up, it's a 128.6, and he goes 0.07 of a second quicker than his teammate Fernando. So very, very strong first laps. A decent way off Max Verstappen, who I think would have been on similarly used tyres. You see Zhou Guanyu, he's gone P4 with a 29 flat. We got Leclerc, Hamilton, Bottas out there as well. So let's see where all of those end up. So Daniel Ricciardo, he's the first through. Oh no, he's starting a lap. What about Charles Leclerc? Where does he go? He goes P2. Hamilton splits us two. So Gasly, Hamilton, Alonso now. And they're coming back into the pits. So we'll make sure we reconfigure them. And get a... Do we want a brand new set? Yeah, go on then. So brand new set of soft tyres. And we'll see if we need to use them. Personally think we'll probably be safe on those times. So we'll zoom it forward a little bit. We'll see where everybody comes out in the wash. So, I mean, tyre wise, let's see what sort of tyres they put on. They've all bolted. I think we're gonna... Are we gonna be alright? Let's have a little look. Obviously, Sainz is gonna make it through. Russell probably will. I don't see anybody else making the time up, so we're going to just let this run through, and we're going to save the tyres for the race tomorrow. So let's see if we regret this, because George Russell's going to be the first up to the line. George Russell, here he comes. What's he going to do? Where's he going to come up to? Russell goes 7th, so he's below Fernando. What about Hamilton? Hamilton doesn't improve. Ricciardo, he comes up to the line. Nope. Sainz goes 4th. What about Lando Norris? He's coming through now. He goes 12th. Vettel up to 11th. Ocon, he's 10th. Zhou Guanyu, 12th. Bottas, nope. And Kevin Magnussen, he goes 13th. So, we did manage to get through, and get through fairly comfortably with both drivers in the end. That means we've got 2 brand new soft tyre runs in Q3. Very, very good session for us there. Much slower than Q1, looking at the times there. But, yeah, that must just be a quirk of simulation. But, of course, we've got 2 new sets of soft tyres. So we've got that set and that set. So, yeah, let's go and use them up then. So here we go. It's time for qualifying 3. Let's go and enjoy it. Can we battle for pole position? I don't think so.
Radio check.
I think it's okay.
Green light, green
So
light.
Fernando Alonso is heading out there. Pierre Gasly is going to go out next. We'll see what they can do on this lap then. It is going to be amazing, but I do think we're just a little bit off on over 1 lap. We'll hop on board, of course, with Fernando Alonso, championship leader. Let's see what he can pull off. So here he comes round the final sector. We'll head on to this camera angle. People seem to enjoy this one. And we'll watch a lap around Jeddah with the 2-time world champion. So here we go. Getting a distant tow from one of the Ferraris up ahead as well, which is nice to see. Now, I don't know if that Alfa Romeo is on a flying lap. There's an Alfa Romeo out there. Let's see what Nando can do in this first sector. I'm assuming most people are going to be on used softs. Well, nope. Seems like they're on brand new tyres. So who's quickest at the moment? Carlos Sainz quickest at the moment. What's the comparison between these two? So Gasly on a 32.5, Alonso on a 32.5. These are just so evenly matched. It's going to come down to who can put in the smoothest lap right at the end of this session. So Carlos Sainz, Bottas goes purple, then Sainz takes it straight off him. Alonso comes through. Not quite enough to go purple at 28.3. Slightly quicker than Pierre Gasly. Oh, who's this? Who's this? It's one of the Red Bulls gets right in the way. Now that is what you call tactics and dirty play from the Red Bulls. It looks like Gasly's got through okay. Bottas goes quicker. Sainz takes it off him. Alonso comes through now. And he's going to go second ahead of ahead of Bottas. Here comes Gasly. Where's he going to go? He goes purple in that final sector. And he goes up to P2. What we looking at lap-wise? Sainz did a 28.3. Gasly a 28.6. Alonso a 29.4. Now that's what you call being impeded. And that is a real shame for Fernando, because now all rests on his final lap. All thanks to that Red Bull. And that's, oh, he should be coming in. Thank goodness for that. Could have had them both retiring there, which would have been a disaster. Let's get them back onto the fresh set of boots. But yeah, not many people putting in good laps there. So Gasly P4, Alonso P8. And, well, I mean, this is on, to be honest with you. Right, Alonso goes out first. And then Pierre Gasly. And they should be absolutely fine. So we'll keep an eye on them. And we'll watch Pierre Gasly on his lap, because he's up in P4 at the moment. And let's see what he's going to do. So Pierre Gasly about to begin his hot lap. So here he goes. You really get the sense of speed from this camera angle. That's awesome. Now let's see what we can do sector-wise. Hoping for green sectors, hopefully purple sectors, but this is going to be the absolute best the track conditions are in. Pierre Gasly, last man over the line, of course. So Fernando Alonso coming through the first sector split. What's he going to manage? Let's see. Is it going to be green? It is green. And here comes Pierre Gasly. He's green as well. Now we're doing sector times wise. 32.5's play, Verstappen's 32.3. So we're 2/10 off Verstappen in that first sector. We're looking for a 28.1 in the middle sector to match Verstappen. Fernando Alonso coming through first. What's he going to manage? 28.3, slightly slower in the middle sector than what he managed last time. Pierre Gasly coming through now, 28.3. So slightly quicker than Fernando. Obviously, Fernando's going to have a much better final sector. Verstappen currently on pole position. Gasly down to 5th as it stands. Fernando Alonso is going to be the first up to the line. Here he comes. He needs a decent improvement. He comes up to the line. It's a 28.6, which puts him 6th. Excellent lap from Fernando. Here comes Gasly. What can he do? 28.6 as well. It's no improvement, actually, for Pierre Gasly. Wouldn't have made it any further up than 4th anyway, but 5th and 6th for the race tomorrow, ahead of the two Mercedes cars. Very, very happy with that. But Red Bull and Ferrari kind of in their own world at this Grand Prix. But yeah, we virtually matched our Q2 time, so very, very consistent. But Pierre Gasly gets the better of Fernando Alonso in that qualifying session.
Tension continues to build here as race day begins.
There was some good work from Aston Martin during the qualifying session, and they will go to the grid full of confidence. It was a pleasure to watch Red Bull's excellent performance during qualifying. Their drivers will now be looking ahead to the race itself and hoping to capitalize. And we've got a clear night here beneath a starry sky. If the weather holds steady, we should be in for a spectacular race indeed.
Well, the streets of Jeddah are abuzz, and the teams are nearly ready for the start of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Okay, here we go then. We're ready and raring to go for this Grand Prix. They're suggesting we start on medium tyres. That's interesting. I think it probably is going to be a medium hard race, if I'm honest. Could you do a hard medium? I'm just thinking it, you know, running longer into the race really did help us last time. Perhaps we'll do that with Fernando. I think we'll stick with the normal strategy with Pierre. We'll say a little bit more aggressive at the start of the race. And we'll go 22 laps into the race, before switching on to the hard tyres. Now, Fernando Alonso, what can he do? We'll go hards. And allow him to really attack the last few laps. So we'll go 31 laps, or do we go 30 laps? And drop that down a bit. Yeah, maybe that's what we do. 30 laps, and then a final 20 laps towards the end of the race. So that looks good to me. Fuel-wise, we are going to stick a little bit of extra fuel in there, just so that they can push, particularly at the start of the Grand Prix. And then we'll see how we get on. This could be a very exciting Grand Prix. Can we get 2 wins in a row? At the very least, get in the points. That's what we're looking for today. So let's get into the 2023 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
It looks like clear weather tonight for this race, with the drivers now just taking position on the grid. And there we have Pierre Gasly. A top 10 position today, but will they be able to capitalise on it? And here's Alonso, the team's second driver. With a top 10 position on the grid, this race could really go either way for them. The teams are ready to go. It's almost
here we go
time
then
for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Lights out, away we go, and a wonderful start straight away for Charles Leclerc. Is he going to be able to make a move on Verstappen? No, he doesn't. Short run down to turn 1. And it's as you were as we go into the first corner, but Gasly has managed to get past Sainz. Fernando Alonso has lost out to Lewis Hamilton, but he is going to have a little look. Perhaps not quite, but
That's it.
great start to this Grand Prix for Pierre Gasly, and he's already all over the back of Sergio Perez. So what a chance for him to maybe go down the inside here, float one down there. Let's have a little look at tyres in this Grand Prix. So interestingly, K-Mag and Lance Stroll have gone softs. Most of the guys have actually gone hard tyres. It's only 5 of the top 6, and then Ocon, Ricciardo and Hulkenberg that have gone mediums. And of course, it's very, very interesting. So a lot of teams putting their faith in the hard tyre, and we'll see whether that benefits Fernando Alonso or Pierre Gasly in this race as we move on. But Pierre still very much in the battle with Sergio Perez here, but Fernando trying to stay with Lewis Hamilton as Pierre Gasly starting to have a look at Perez. Doesn't quite go down the outside there, but gives himself a good run onto the pit straight. So it's Max Verstappen leading the way at the start of this Grand Prix, but Charles Leclerc is definitely having a battle with him, and Charles Leclerc is going to have a look. Is he into turn 1? Oh, he was going down the inside there, didn't quite happen. And now Perez following behind, looking for any mistakes. Can Pierre Gasly stay within this battle? Can he stay within DRS? That's going to be the big question at this stage of the race. We're going to drop these down now to aggressive and neutral until we get into overtaking positions. Okay, let's zoom it forward, see if Gasly can have a little go at him in this middle sector. Certainly a good start in this middle sector. Can he get through? I don't think so. I mean, he's certainly on the pace of Perez. I feel like once we've got DRS, it's going to be backwards and forwards with these guys. But managing to stay with them for now, but certainly the top 2 are looking ahead of us on pace at the moment. Charles Leclerc once again having a little look. Has he got the pace? Well, he may have the pace here. No, not having to go this lap. Gasly just a 10th behind as it stands. Alonso staying within reach as well. So very, very strong from both Aston Martin cars as it stands. Now, Pierre Gasly running through this middle sector. Can he catch up to Perez? With DRS, Perez is going to have DRS himself, of course. DRS enabled. So here we go. This is going to be our first taste of it. No, not quite. Not quite now. Here we go again. Perez this time does not have DRS, so this is going to be a chance for Pierre Gasly to make himself known. He's having a little look. He is going down the inside here, and Charles Leclerc, by the way, has took the lead of this Grand Prix. So Sergio Perez now down to P4. So Pierre Gasly using DRS to close in on the leaders. What can Fernando Alonso do? He's managed to get past Lewis Hamilton. Now Hamilton's got DRS. Is he going to come back at Fernando here? Doesn't look like it. Okay. I think we're in a good place. Try and catch up with Fernando to the back of Pierre Gasly, but Carlos Sainz and then Perez and then Pierre Gasly, I guess. But Gasly in a little battle for the lead, so he's in a similar position to what Fernando was in the last race. A little five-way battle for the lead, and then Alonso just slightly further back with Hamilton, who I think is more on our pace, but we're being dragged along by the DRS and the fact that we're on the faster medium tyres at the beginning of this race, and it's, I think, Sergio Perez that's on the hard tyres, so he's going to be leading in a few laps time, so need to keep an eye on that and try and stay with these guys as best we can. But Carlos Sainz potentially having a look at Sergio Perez. Perez weaving all over the place trying to defend. Fernando Alonso managing to defend from Lewis Hamilton as well. This is going to be a good chance for the 7-time world champion. He's going to have a look down the inside. Can Fernando Alonso hold him off? Oh, it's very close, but it looks like Hamilton's through and he's going to have DRS on this straight. So Alonso now down to P7. Gasly, meanwhile, still chasing after Charles Leclerc. And looks like Max Verstappen now making a good move, and Bottas is through now. So Fernando's struggling on these hard tyres. Slots back at, well, it's a long way behind Bottas now. So he's going to have to force his way back up. He's got Russell and Esteban Ocon for company. Kevin Magnussen certainly not far behind that either. So 5 laps into this Grand Prix. Very, very good start. Let's zoom it forward a little bit and see how we get on. Can Lewis Hamilton get himself involved in this group? He's on the medium tyres, so needs to really to get this strategy to work. Pierre Gasly now.
Keep doing what you're doing.
With the DRS. He could be having a little look here. He is a rocket ship in a straight line. Look at that. Pierre Gasly takes the lead of this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. That was just unbelievable. He just flew past them.
Aston Martin took a chance.
Look at this.
And it's paid off. We can take a look now. Now look at this. It's Pierre Gasly.
It's because Leclerc is stuck behind Verstappen. Gasly got a huge slingshot off the back of Charles Leclerc, and he now leads the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. He's not going to stay there. I think Verstappen has got a lot more pace than us at the moment, but hey, he's doing what Fernando was doing last time and staying in the mix, and that's what he needs to do. Now, Fernando Alonso, can he get away from Valtteri Bottas? That's the question. He needs to. So we're actually going to deploy his ERS, sorry.
If you need it.
Copy.
Make sure that he's going as fast as he can be. Trying to get out of that 1 second window. Once he's out of that 1 second window, his pace should let him naturally catch up towards the back of Lewis Hamilton. This is very, very good at the start of this race. Fernando Alonso doing a superb job in Bahrain, and now it's Pierre Gasly's turn as he's leading the race. But now this is going to be huge because we've got Max Verstappen having a little look He's going to go down the inside of Pierre Gasly here. There's Sergio Perez as well. He's past Leclerc. Now, did Gasly get DRS there? I think he did. So Gasly's going to be straight back past here. DRS wide open. Now he's going to pass Max Verstappen, is he? Or is he going to be passed by Perez like he did to Max Verstappen in the previous lap? But nothing quite happens there. And Fernando Alonso, meanwhile, certainly not making that impact that we thought he might on Valtteri Bottas. So we need to keep persistent with that, try and get more than a second ahead. That's what we're looking at here. He is certainly catching up to Lewis Hamilton by the looks of it, but needs to get past that second window. It looks like he is just about going to do it here. There you go, outside of the 1 second now. Just deploy a little bit on the exit, and now he's more than a second ahead of Bottas. That should be Bottas out of the game in terms of fighting with Alonso. We do seem to have that pace that Alfa Romeo had at the start of last season, you know, where they're able to compete with the Mercedes cars. But Gasly doing a superb job, still fighting with Max Verstappen. And look at this, let's hop on board with him. Is he going to be able to make a move on Max Verstappen here? Can he go down the inside? Oh, Max Verstappen just squeezed him a little bit, but he will have DRS on the pit straight. And this is a fantastic start to this Grand Prix for us. So here he goes, Gasly, pulling to the side now. DRS enabled, but this time doesn't seem to have the out-and-out pace. So maybe this race is just settling down a little bit. As Fernando Alonso, I think, has let Bottas back into that 1 second window, which was rather unwise. Anyway, let's zoom it forward. I think we're at a safe place in this Grand Prix now, where we can do that. Is Gasly going to make another move on Verstappen? That's kind of what I want to know. They are very much battling here. This is very, very exciting. Here he goes again with DRS. But he's just getting stuck behind Verstappen. But that is Perez, and Perez is through. So Perez through on Gasly. And I wonder if we just stick with them for now. We'll look after the tyres a little bit. Don't really need to push at this stage of the Grand Prix. Alonso, meanwhile, starting to catch Lewis Hamilton. So maybe the hard tyre runners are starting to come into the race a little bit, because Perez is certainly caught up. Yeah, this is pretty good. Pretty good. There he goes. Yeah, struggling to stay within the 1 second window, you would say, Gasly. I'm not really sure the battle for the lead is our battle. Perez having a look at his teammate Max Verstappen now. Will he be permitted to have a go? That's going to be the question. Let's watch that battle for the lead. Oh, wow, we've got Leclerc. Where did he come from? Gasly's dropping like a fly here. Gasly now down to P4.
Oh, and Ferrari
And a new fastest lap for Fernando Alonso all of a sudden. Now, can Gasly get back in for this battle? I'm not sure. Yeah, he's just dropped back slightly, so maybe that was the wrong idea, trying to save tyres with Gasly. It's going to drop to more than a second very, very shortly. Yeah, there you go. So Carlos Sainz is going to pass now, and maybe we just have to take our medicine now and settle into our own race and try and secure P5 and 6 for the team. Which would be an awesome haul of points. And at these lot battle, because we can stay with them, but we are going to run our tyres very close. Whereas I think I'd rather try and keep them a little bit fresh, make sure our fuel is in a good place. Carlos Sainz definitely will be through here.
This is good.
You would think. Can Gasly stay in front? I'm not sure this time. No. Look there. And Alonso not that far behind either, so he's trying to make it past Lewis Hamilton. Doing a good job at the moment. So let's settle down a little bit after a hectic first 10 laps where Gasly was battling for the lead a little bit. Now can Fernando make it past Lewis Hamilton? He goes down the inside and that is him through. And he will have DRS to pull away. And that's exactly what he does. So absolutely brilliant from Fernando Alonso. And all of a sudden he's pulled a bit of a gap on Hamilton and Ocon as well. So now we've got Pierre Gasly in P5. Just a little bit behind Carlos Sainz. Hopefully we'll get dragged along a little bit. And then we've got Fernando Alonso in P6, only 2.7 behind. Still pushing hard on those hard tyres. Decent stuff at the moment. And Pierre Gasly does make it back past Carlos Sainz.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
So Sergio Perez is currently leading the race. Verstappen in second, Leclerc third. Gasly is currently P4. Sainz P5, then Alonso in position 6th, Hamilton 7th, Bottas 8th, Ocon 9th, and George Russell in P10. And we're not a million miles away from the first pit stops of this Grand Prix taking place. And Pierre Gasly is definitely going to be in that first round of stops. Now we'd quite like to make sure that we time that pit stop to perfection. Alonso, meanwhile, is definitely catching up. We've got some yellow flags. Don't know who that was. That was Ocon locking up. So Ocon now up to down to 11th. Sorry. So let's just hop on board with Fernando. So yeah, he is in the midst of this battle now, and you got to say at this phase of the Grand Prix, is Fernando the quicker Aston Martin car? And Gasly now very much dropping off the pace of the leaders. Can Alonso get into this battle? Yes, he can. Very much so. Going to harvest as well. Can Gasly defend from Sainz? It's looking very, very tight, isn't it? Sainz is through. So, Pierre Gasly now down to P5. And what we don't want is
Ferrari advance the race position.
these two fighting. So we might have to say to Gasly, look, let your teammate past. So that's what we're going to do for the interest of this Grand Prix. I'm going to give Pierre Gasly the instruction to let Alonso through and see what pace Alonso can come up with at this stage.
No saving required.
Yeah, copy me.
So can Alonso catch up to Carlos Sainz? Yeah, Gasly, meanwhile, right behind Fernando Alonso, might make a move on his teammate here as Max Verstappen comes into the pits from the race lead. Gasly perhaps going to have a look here. No, doesn't look like it. So can Fernando begin to close the gap to Carlos Sainz? Or not? So 1.5 seconds is the gap. So 1.4 seconds. I mean, this is pretty close from Fernando. Obviously, we've got Gasly just behind, but not really competing with Fernando at this point. That's how many laps we can eke these tyres out for Pierre Gasly. Keep him at this pace with Fernando Alonso, which essentially is leader's pace if we look at it. Well, this lap it will be. So 34.7 from Leclerc plays. 34.9. Oh, and now Gasly's through. I think we need to attack and push with Gasly. And see if we can get the rest out of those tyres. See if we can overcut
So we're happy to push the tyres.
Sainz, because Sainz has come out.
Yep.
Where's he come out? Ooh, just in front of Zhou Guanyu. That's quite good for him. Verstappen, meanwhile, he's behind Sebastian Vettel. A few of the other guys have dropped way down, including Lewis Hamilton, into traffic. We do not want to do that at this stage. If we were to pit this lap, we'd probably come out behind Zhou. Just in front of Norris, so again, we don't really want that. It's time now for Gasly to put the hammer down and see what he can do. And the problem is we got two very similarly paced F1 cars battling it out. I'm actually going to drop Alonso down to standard until Gasly comes into the pits. We're going to deploy Gasly's ERS.
So use energy if you need it.
Charles Leclerc comes into the pits. So what sort of time is this going to be? 1:33.9. That's a very, very quick time.
Doing a good job, keep pushing.
And we are just absolutely pushing pedal in the metal here. George Russell, meanwhile, doing a good job in the midfield. Let's have a look at Perez's tyres. So 60% for him. So Alonso's tyres not doing well compared to the rest of the hard tyre runners. Gasly's the only man out there at the moment on mediums. So let's keep deploying. He's actually put a purple middle sector in now. Alonso just dropping off slightly. That's fine. Now we can move him back to his strategy.
Pick up the pace
I
a
just
bit.
didn't want Alonso
Copy.
battling with Gasly and ruining this strategy. So here comes Pierre Gasly. Is this going to be fastest lap of the race? It is. Very good. Down to neutral now. So Gasly at 33.5. That was a lot quicker than anybody else out there. And what we're achieving here is hopefully into some clear air after the pit stop. That's essentially what we're looking for. We might come in a lap early. I'm not convinced those tyres will last another round, so we're going to come in this lap. We're going to go on to the hard tyres.
It's a box.
Take them the rest of the way. I'm not going to push the hard tyres too hard early on.
Drop back a bit.
Okay.
Okay, suggest lift and coast.
Okay.
So now Fernando Alonso will more than likely catch up to Pierre by the end of the lap, but Pierre will be peeling off into the pits for his first pit stop of this Grand Prix. And what's good is that Pierre Gasly will have much fresher tyres than the guys around. So Gasly now coming around the final corner. He's going to be coming into the pits this lap. So here he goes.
Yeah, in the box.
Copy. So use pit limiter.
And Fernando Alonso now assumes second position in this Grand Prix. And here goes the pit stops. There we are. Gasly away. In 2.8 seconds, Verstappen goes through. Now, what about Carlos Sainz? It's going to be close. There is Carlos Sainz. So, comes out just behind the Spaniard. He's in 9th place. I'm going to try and bed these tyres in a little bit. Get them up to temperature nicely. And then we can go for it a little bit more. So, currently, Sergio Perez leads the Grand Prix. Fernando Alonso is in P2. Valtteri Bottas P3, then Russell 4th. Leclerc is, in theory, the net leader of this Grand Prix in P5. And I'll tell you what, he's a decent way ahead, isn't he? He's coming right up behind George Russell and Bottas. They're going to slow him down a little bit here. And Vettel is currently P7 with Sainz in P8, then Gasly following just behind in P9. And Zhou Guanyu rounds out the points as it currently stands. So here goes Charles Leclerc. Going to make a move on these two? No, he's not. Alonso now, the quickest man out there on the hard tyres. Oh, that started on the hard tyres. And his pit stop will be coming in around about 7 laps time, so trying to keep those tyres running that long. Let's just drop them back down to standard. Let's see how we get on. Let's zoom it forward. We're at a bit of a lull in this race at the moment. Between the pit windows. So Fernando Alonso 34.5 that lap. 0.2 slower than Perez, but still quicker than Bottas. Gasly now catching up to our old member, Mr. Sebastian Vettel. I think Gasly very much is not in the battle now for the
I
win.
think there's been a lock-up.
As Yuki Tsunoda locks up. Fernando Alonso still doing a terrific job. So we'll zoom it forward again. Sort of hoping for a VSC or full safety car to get Alonso into the pits. Give him a chance to fight for the podium. So, pit window. So yeah, Sainz currently battling with Sebastian Vettel for P7 now. Don't know whether that'll give us a little chance here or not. Meanwhile, Max Verstappen has caught right up to Charles Leclerc. Let's have a little look at this battle. Leclerc still hasn't made it past Russell or Bottas. And Verstappen is in that battle. There goes Leclerc. He's going to go round the outside. That turns into the inside. He's finally passed George Russell. And he needed that. Russell's going to come back at him though. But Leclerc stays in front now. Needs to get past Bottas pretty quickly. So Alonso on 33% tyres now. But yeah, Leclerc looks like he's past Bottas now, so that's exactly what he needed. But now Max Verstappen is very much back into the battle.
It will be difficult to recover the front.
And you can see Max Verstappen has passed Charles Leclerc.
So what do you want, Joe? Would you want box?
So, Fernando Alonso will be coming in this lap.
Box.
Yes, box.
So keep an eye on that. So some hard tyre runners will start coming into the pit lane. And Fernando's out in 2.8 seconds, and he's come out not far behind his teammate Pierre Gasly. Now, Alonso is on fresh medium tyres that he should be able to take to the end of this Grand Prix. Speaking of which, Gasly now has finally got within a second of Sebastian Vettel. It's not been the best stint so far for him, but trying to save those tyres a little bit. So can Pierre get him? Here we go. DRS activated. Nope, not going to make the move this lap. So, comes onto the pit straight. Swings to the outside, and there you go, Vettel is in. So, all of the rest of the hard tyre runners are in. Fernando Alonso coming through now. He's going to start going aggressive. All the way up to 6th place now, Alonso. Which is great.
Push more.
Copy.
So, we're currently 9.3 behind race leader Charles Leclerc. Max Verstappen is second at the moment. Let's just have a little look at tyre percentages. So, Leclerc's in a good position. Perez, of course, on medium tyres. Surely it's only a matter of time before he gets past his teammate Max Verstappen. Carlos Sainz is 4th at the moment. Gasly currently P5. Not too far behind Sainz, actually. And then Fernando Alonso in 6th. Hamilton is a fair bit behind in 7th. Then Albon up in 8th for AlphaTauri. George Russell about to perhaps make the move on him. Is he going to make the move? Be a risky one. And then Bottas in P10. Let's have a little look at our old team member, Mr. Nico Hulkenberg. Currently in 19th place, not setting the world alight. Has to be said, he's lapping quicker than Mick Schumacher at the moment. 33 seconds behind him. They've both pitted, so he is ahead of Tsunoda on pace. It's nice to see. Now then, when do we start pushing Pierre Gasly? That's the question. Not yet is the answer. So let's move that to interval now. So Alonso closing in on Gasly, but not at a rate of knots. We've got Perez fighting Verstappen, but I think there might be some team orders afoot. So what we'd really like is a safety car or something to bring us right back into the front of that battle. But P5 and 6. Still very good. Now Fernando Alonso is chasing his teammate Pierre Gasly. He's on better tyres, softer tyres. You would imagine that Alonso is going to make that move. Let's see. So DRS enabled. I think we now need to start pushing.
We just need to push now.
Pierre Gasly.
Copy.
Because Fernando now with DRS certainly getting close. Oh, he's going to go around the outside here. That was risky. But we're letting them fight. We don't want to show any preference. New fastest lap for Fernando Alonso.
This is good. Come on.
132.4. 13 laps to go. Let's hop back on board as we head towards the DRS zone. Surely Alonso's going to make the move here. DRS enabled. Oh, is it going to go? No, not quite. Here we go. Having a look down the inside this time. I think Alonso's going to have him. Oh no, backs out of it. DRS. Is he going to go down the inside? He does this time. Gasly's still there, giving him room, but equally squeezing him up against the wall. Fun to see. Teammates battling. But Alonso has generally been the quicker of the two since the start of the race. Gasly had 10 or so laps where he was battling for the lead, but since then Alonso has been the quicker on both compounds, to be fair. But there's nothing really to be gained out of letting Alonso go. He's not going to make up 6 seconds to Carlos Sainz by the end of this race. So we might as well enjoy a fun little battle between them. As long as it doesn't turn into anything silly. So Alonso was going to go DRS there, but didn't. Still battling Tooth and nail here. Here we go. No, I think this is going to be the moment for Fernando Alonso. He is past his teammate Pierre Gasly. That's a good solid move. So now we'll get to see the pace of Alonso in clear air. And nice that we were able to let them battle a little bit. Didn't really have any stress whatsoever that they were going to take each other out, which is great. That's what you want. So 5.8 seconds behind Carlos Sainz currently. Now is Pierre Gasly going to make a move back here? Might well do. There he goes. Pulls to the inside. Has DRS enabled. But no move from Pierre Gasly. And Alonso maintains his lead in this race. So time to zoom it forward and see where we're at in a few laps' time. Perhaps they will just yo-yo between each other. But we are collectively getting ahead of Lewis Hamilton, and that's what we want to see. Gasly back past Alonso there, which is interesting. I think Nando will be back past him here. And he is, so this is going to be an exciting battle at the end of the Grand Prix, so we'll hop back on board with them for the final 3 laps. Yeah, it's a great battle, this. Battle for the ages. Now, we need to be a little bit careful with both of them. I don't think their tyres are going to quite make the end of the race at this rate. So, final 3 laps. As I said, we'd come back on board with it and enjoy it. It's currently Fernando Alonso in P5. Pierre Gasly chasing him in P6. DRS open once again. No, not quite. Not quite. Alonso goes once again now. Right in the gearbox is Pierre Gasly. DRS enabled. He's going to have the inside line here. Gasly gets ahead, but Alonso's going to have DRS back down the straight. So here we go. Can Fernando Alonso make it past Pierre Gasly, his teammate? This is just great racing. Alonso flies back through.
2 laps to go.
2 laps to go in this Grand Prix. And Fernando Alonso back up to P5. Pierre Gasly, P6 at the moment. And, well, Max Verstappen leading the race ahead of his teammate Sergio Perez. Is Perez going to be allowed to battle this one? They're coming up towards the final. No, they're not actually. It's just middle of the lap. I was thinking, goodness me, they've made a big gain. But, yeah, Perez is still having a look.
Some rear graining.
Copy.
Do we need to undercut one or overcut or something?
I'm going to ignore Fernando. And there's Perez, makes a move for the lead. And he's through. Sergio Perez leads the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc is going to have a little look at Max Verstappen as well. He is right in the gearbox. He's going to go down the inside. Not quite. Oh, that was close. But again, he's got now the main straight to have a go. As we'll hop back on board with Gasly. Gasly right behind Fernando Alonso. Has Leclerc made the move? No, he hasn't. But Perez starts the final lap of this Grand Prix.
Last lap.
Gasly now. Last chance saloon. It's time to stick them on full attack for the final lap of the race. Deploy. Deploy. Give it your all, folks. Give it everything you want for this final lap.
We're good to push.
Let's see what's happening. Perez still leading the race. Verstappen in second. Then Leclerc in third. Can Leclerc get him?
Yeah, copy.
That's the question. Alonso still ahead of his teammate. Still pushing hard. And still doing a fabulous job. So Perez survives the first DRS zone. But this is where the race could be won. Because Max Verstappen is having a look at Perez.
Need to charge in, or is
Copy.
But doesn't manage it now. Can Charles Leclerc make it past? It's going to be so close. Perez wins. Verstappen second. And Leclerc finishes third. Sainz is going to finish fourth. It looks like Fernando Alonso is going to have the edge. Alonso finishes fifth. And Pierre Gasly finishes in sixth. Very, very good performance from both of our drivers there.
Yeah, well done again. With the strategy, with the start.
Good job. And P1. Wait 5 seconds. And P0.
that's checker flag?
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Brilliant, brilliant. Take all the pickup on the way in. Well done. Take all the pickup you can. All the pickup you can.
Very, very strong Grand Prix. There are still a few little battles going on around the track. Let's see if we can pick up on a good battle. It doesn't look like that's going to change anything, but McLaren off to a very tough start of the season once again. And Lance Stroll in the Alfa Romeo while his teammate Bottas is in the points. He's languishing right at the back of the field. Not a good start for him. He finishes in 18th place. Nico Hulkenberg did beat his teammate today, which is nice to see for him. And there we go. We finish the Grand Prix.
What a flawless weekend here from Fernando Alonso. His team must be proud. Aston Martin having an extremely good day at the track.
I wouldn't be surprised if the team's performance today won them a lot of new fans.
At the end of the weekend, it's second place in the constructor standings for them.
And for the next round, Formula One is heading down under. Exciting times ahead in Australia on the shores of the Albert Park Lake.
So there you have it then. Sergio Perez wins the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix ahead of Max Verstappen in P2. Charles Leclerc finishes in third ahead of Carlos Sainz in fourth. Fernando Alonso finishes fifth with Pierre Gasly in P6. What a race between them two. Lewis Hamilton finishes in P7, Bottas 8th, Russell 9th, and Sebastian Vettel rounds out the top 10. No non-finishers once again. Sergio Perez takes over the lead of the drivers' standings ahead of Fernando Alonso in second. We're not realistically in a championship battle unless our car upgrades take us in that direction. But great to be getting some great points finishes at the start of this season. Verstappen currently third, 10 points behind Perez, Leclerc in fourth, and Gasly P5. In the Constructors, we are down to second. Red Bull leading the way by 23 points. Again, I don't think we're in a battle for the win in the Constructors, but certainly potential third place on offer if we can stay ahead of Mercedes in terms of pace. Certainly today, we were a long way ahead, which is fantastic. So let's move it on then. Has Gasly got a development point? Yes, he has. What about Fernando Alonso? Yes, he has. And what about Drugovich? Nope, nothing for Drugovich, obviously. Not running in FP1. And that's kind of what happens. But what a race from both drivers there. Thoroughly enjoyed those final few laps. Didn't feel any pressure whatsoever that they were going to have an incident. But we have got a few exciting Grand Prix coming up by the looks of it. We've got Australia coming up next. A different type of circuit. I'll be intrigued to see how well we get on there. But I have to say a very, very positive start to the season in second place in the drivers and constructors standings. Don't think we'll be there by the end of the season, but we will try our very, very best. I really hope that you enjoyed that episode. If you did, give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more F1 Manager videos. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.